Hey, what's going on guys? It's Tom Mason here, and today we're talking about how to set up your autofocus on your modern Nikon camera for wildlife photography. In the last couple of years, Nikon have made some really big strides with their autofocus and stuff like that, but also just the ergonomics of using on the camera. And today I want to talk to you about one key feature, and that is the press in of the lovely toggle on the back of the camera. Now, this is a feature that has been given to the D5, D500 and D850 and probably all of those modern top cameras that are to come. And basically it gives us another customizable button for our autofocus that's really handy because it means I can switch from being on AF continuous single point to AF continuous multi-point. That's perfect for jumping from a static subject doing a portrait to a bird in flight in no time whatsoever. You don't have to take your eye from the viewfinder. I just have to literally move the tip of my thumb and I can change my autofocus times. Something that we just didn't have a couple of years ago, and a feature that is so handy, and I reckon everyone should have this set up as a wildlife photographer who uses a Nikon camera. So firstly, I use rear button focus, and of course that means I've disabled any autofocus from my shutter button, and that's really easy to do. Basically, you go into menu, you're going to go into your custom settings and go to the autofocus. So custom setting is the little pencil, and then autofocus on A. Go into that, and basically you're going to tab down to number 8, that is AF activation. Now, if it says on, basically it means when you press the shutter button, it's going to try and autofocus. So I changed that to AF on only, and that means that it's only going to autofocus when I press that AF on button on the back. That is exactly how I want it to be, and this will initiate any autofocus you have set up. So for me, that's the single point AFC. Now, going back out of that, let's get into the more useful feature of being able to have that second autofocus on that customizable joystick button. And to do that, we're going to go back into menu, back into the custom settings menu, and now we're going to toggle down to controls. Now, once we're in controls, we're going to go to the first one, F1, that is custom control assignment. Now, by clicking that, we're going to get a menu of all the buttons that you can customize on the Nikon cameras, but we want to tab down. You'll see AF on, leave that as AF on because of course you want it to initiate your autofocus. Below that, you're going to actually be able to customize what the joystick does. I personally have it on focus point selector because that's the most useful thing for it in my opinion. But below that is the really key thing that I want, and that is, you'll see the circle with a joystick in the middle, and that is the press of that sub-selector center button. And what I'm going to do is press that, and what I want you to toggle down to is AF area mode plus AF on. Now, above that is AF area mode only. If you press that one, what you're going to get is when you press in the button, you get and change the autofocus to AF area mode, but it doesn't initiate the focus. That means you've got to somehow struggle with your thumb and press 2 buttons at once. That isn't what you want. Whereas if you go to the one below that and have AF area mode plus AF on, it means that when you press that setter button, it's going to change the autofocus to the one you want. For me personally, I use the 25-point focus mode, and it's going to initiate the autofocus and start tracking your subject. That is just brilliant for birds in flight, anything like that. Now, if you go into that menu, you can actually change it a bit more. You can have the dynamic area at 72 point, 153 point, but for me, the 25 point is the most handy because I can still make a composition with that. If you go for the 153 points, it covers so much of the frame that you're not really controlling your composition anymore. But if you go to the 25 point, basically, you can set it to multiple sides of the frame, and yet it's going to track your subject within that. That gives you a little more in terms of creative control, yet still gives you the fantastic access to that multi-cam autofocus point. So go ahead, select that, ready to go, and out of menu, and now you're ready to go. Your AF on button starts your AF as it should do normally, your single point, and you press that, toggle in, and there you go. You've got multi-pattern autofocus right at your thumb tip. You don't have to take your eye from the viewfinder, and you can go from a bird on the ground to bird in flight in no time whatsoever. Really handy little tip, great way to set up your camera, and yeah, that's how I have mine programmed. So that's it, really simple, really easy to do. Set up your camera to make the most of the autofocus. If you found that helpful, please, just drop a like and subscribe for more content. I've got loads of stuff on the way. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. More than happy to get back to you. And yeah, join me again soon for another wildlife photography video. And thank you very much for watching. Cheers, guys.